Welcome back. Episode 3, season 2. Yeah. It just feels a little bit uneasy because it's been a couple weeks since we've met and done this, I guess.
Oh, it was like weeks met the last 2 days.
No, yes. But it has. But I'm like, wait, how do I sit down? Yeah, was this outfit appropriate? No, it wasn't. But
This, I think it's fine.
no, I needed to test it out. Like I said, this is my like breeding ground for outfit testing. Like, does this like
It's fine for here. Like,
yeah, it barely hits my microphone and now I'm naked. Who knows?
I think it's good. There. I think it's fine. We're gonna get right in the groove. It will be fine. Right, scapping.
So I have this crazy story that I don't think I told you. And I'm curious like how you would have responded, how you respond when you're like called out straight in public. But I was at the airport. I never do this, but I have my
Recently, like on one of your last trips.
not the trip that I had this week, but one of my recent trips. So like 2 weeks.
Like years ago.
Yeah. No. Like the last month.
Just setting my context.
And I hadn't talked to this friend in a while, and I felt so bad. She kept like texting me and calling me.
Oh my God, no.
No, no, I didn't want to enter her.
Because that's happened to me before. And I was like, this is not.
Actually, I remember this because you texted me. You're like, "Fuck, I'm at DFW Airport. I just ran into X, and I don't know how to respond."
Tough. And I mean, they made plans.
And then probably canceled them before they actually happened.
Unfortunately, yes.
No, I was on the phone with her because
At the airport.
yeah, which I don't usually like to like be on the phone at the airport.
I'm offended. You're never on the phone with me at the airport.
I've seen live. I haven't seen her in
This is fine.
almost a year at this point. Like we like needed catching up, and she kept calling me, and she's not usually like that. So I'm like, something's. Are you okay? Yeah, right. So we're talking, and I'm like, hey, I'll call you back. I'm like boarding the plane, and I like felt like obligated to call her back again. So I was calling her as I was sitting in my seat on the plane. My God, very out of character for me.
like,
And I feel like I was trying to be quiet for me.
adult roar.
I'm talking to her, whatever. I'm more listening because she's telling me this story about a bachelorette that she planned months ago because we're so fucking behind on our lives. And I get a text message as I'm talking on the phone. Hey, are you on a plane? I didn't tell you this story.
No.
And at first I'm like, I'm telling this person, do I sound like, do I have a distinct voice? Like if you were to like hear me in public,
I could pick you out of a grocery store 3 aisles away. Like whenever we go shopping together, I'm like, I'm never a fear portal closing. I can either hear you or see you.
that's both of us, right? Like that's like a normal thing.
You're like 3 inches taller, so it just gives you that.
But I'm saying.
Yeah, but you have a long torso. I can still see the top of your head. Hello?
No, we need to do that TikTok thing where like you have 2 people that sit and it looks like they're the same height and then they stand up and one is like, because you have the long torso.
I do.
We're the same sitting down and then we stand up.
Like you're just taller. How did you respond? Because you never respond to text, so I feel like you could easily be like,
No.
didn't see it, but you were talking, so they were like, this bitch is on her phone.
So then I think it was so awkward because I was like having half a conversation with this person on the phone and half texting them like, what do I do? Like they obviously know I'm on this plane. The reason why I didn't want to respond is because I didn't have the number saved and it looked like Morris's number.
We're saying names out loud.
This, I feel like we could say out loud. This is like a thing of the past. Oh, this is like he's not watching this.
Never know.
I don't know. I don't think it was.
So did you ever respond?
No.
Should you give context as to who Morris is?
My college boyfriend.
Sorry, I just wanted to.
And they like ended on such a weird note and like
I feel like overall decent terms. It wouldn't, like maybe just like not for someone you'd want to like run into if you can avoid it.
Yeah. And I'm like rushing. This was the trip that I was meeting. I could say this. Shelby on the other side. So it was like there was too much chaos, but it was like, I don't even want to deal with that. She like
Eden and that's the right location. Like you would be going to.
right. And I don't know, it was 786. That's like Miami area code. And I don't know a lot of people that have 786. That's like an old school. Like now it's like 305 or Fort Lauderdale, my life. Right. So who knows? What would you have done in this scenario? Has this ever happened to you where you're like somewhere and then you run into somebody else and you're like, holy fuck, I should have been more of an adult, a mature adult, and like responded or acknowledged or done something. I was in the front of the plane. So I scurried my ass off the plane as quickly as I could. And thankfully,
Bathroom.
no, Shelby was flying Frontier. So she was on like a different term runway. So just like hauled ass.
I feel like I can understand why. I think it's just tough because like you do have a very distinct voice. So like if this person was like, "Are you on this plane?" They weren't really asking. They knew you were on that plane. They were just more like letting you know that they might also be on that plane. But I mean, well, it's the worst thing. If it were me, I might have responded like a few hours after and been like, "Oh hey, yeah, blah blah blah."
Yeah. But I didn't know who it was.
Well, you could have also been like, "Who is this? You've gotten a new phone. Lord knows."
So many times. Not a new number though.
Yeah, but like I lost all my contacts like a year ago, and I was like constantly like, "Oh, who's this?" Like,
Thank God you just knew mine, or I texted you once and you saved it. I'm having this. So very odd, very awkward. Then, of course, like the whole weekend that Shelby was here, we were like talking about that and like wanting to not reminisce, but just like it's
you don't even
weird.
know for sure if it was that person.
No, but I feel in my bones that it was.
It's like gut feeling.
Just a gut feeling. Because if it was anybody else, they probably would have
DDT'd.
correct desperate double text. I love that you said this. Thank you.
Like let that work.
Sprinkle it in.
That bageling, I mean, the gamut.
I feel like that's a perfect segue though, because what I really wanted to talk about today was
On the edge of my seat because I have no fucking clue.
well, this is how to do it.
Ex-boyfriends?
No,
Okay.
there's not enough to cover with. Can I be rude? I don't want to be rude, but like,
Well, you are now
because you just worked this. I'm just gonna give him his nickname, but we'll just keep
No.
right. I know that is neat. I was thinking about it. It was brought up in the same time frame that I was traveling. This happened. You obviously handle all the social content to this podcast, right?
Well, I mean, not obviously.
Now we're going to make it obvious to everybody here.
Right.
I don't have social media. If anybody has Googled, look me up, whatever we do here in 2026. And I have never had Instagram. Never. I have and I don't even want to say this out loud, but like, what a secret.
It's not secret. You just use it to look.
I use it to educate myself and like be up to date.
You do it to educate yourself on like gossip.
Exactly.
It's not like you're getting, and thank God you're not getting your news from that.
No. I'm getting from nowhere. I don't need to know what's happening. I'm into these days.
Like Facebook.
Yeah, I'm not 100.
I don't know.
I've removed myself from that. But it came up because you were traveling and we like to keep like cadence with updating our social channels and like our latest podcast.
Well, yeah, we want to make sure for our 3 followers that they get the link.
Right. Absolutely. And our OCD will only allow it to be 12 p.m. Central Standard Time on a Friday. So understand, you're in the air. I'm second in command here. I have to figure this out.
Should we also say that we had dinner like 2 nights before this was going to happen, and we did a step-by-step tutorial.
I wrote out all of the caption
to post a reel. The other post was preset. The links. I had a lot of faith in you.
I was really proud. I updated the tags, correct. And then when it came to the reels, I was like texting Eden live, like, I don't know how to do this. Can you sign on and do this for me?
Literally, because you never know with like airplane Wi-Fi. And I was like, oh, I do have it. Like, let me just look. And I have never laughed so hard that when I logged on to our Instagram and I see you've posted half of a picture and the caption is one of the links. It was literally like you must have taken like a screenshot or you just like zoomed in. And I was like, huh. Well, and I just text you and I'm like, are you okay?
No. I was, oh my God, in a little huddle room at work, like crying.
So I'm like, I can't ask anybody because this is like neither the
Right.
What was he even saying?
Ina was like, it's fine. Like, you did the links part. Like, let her, like, it's not right, but like the links are working. Those are updated. What you could really do is like have like after the fact and be like, I don't know how to Instagram. This is literally my first time on Instagram ever.
What was your second after the tutorial? I just want to.
That wasn't an item on me. He did. So sorry. At least another week's prep. But it was so stressful. And I think what was even more stressful, so whatever, updated the links. Thank you for texting me while you were on the airplane and just like stand down.
Like, please stop doing it.
Like, stop.
I don't know what you're doing, but stop.
But like being on Instagram, because we're too many tabs, follows some people, like Eden, let's say, my husband. I knew that we went to my stepson's high school graduation. I knew that there were pictures out there. I didn't know it was out there for the world to see. So I'm seeing certain things live out or in on Instagram.
So it's not like everyone can see it.
I'm saying I just experienced Instagram for the first time that day, and I was seeing updates of some of our friends, my husband. I was in a picture on this internet, and I'm thinking to myself, like, this is overwhelming. How do people how do you manage consumption in this world of so many different social channels, but also like wanting to be live? What are expectations? I'm just so curious. It like opened up so many more questions for me. It also solidified the fact that I really am not interested in doing something like that ever. Like, if we need to, sure, I'll engage a little bit more.
Be hiring someone.
Yes, I would really love that. Please, a Gen Zer, call me. Love to hire you. It's a lot. And I'm very impressed that like you've always been in it, and in it, like, to me, a healthy way. It doesn't like consume you to a point where it's affecting your mental health, or maybe it is. I'm curious. And do you talk about this with other people? Because you're not talking about this with me because it's not relevant to me.
I feel like as an elder millennial, I feel like that's the category we're in.
Yeah, but we talk about this at the mid now.
What do you mean now? It's always been the same bracket.
I think we've always been boys. We thought we were old.
My back is held.
That's fair.
I'll tell you that for free. I feel like our generation's been like slowly ramping up the consumption of social media. So it's like your baby's first steps is not the average experience.
Yeah, that's true.
Because we had like, I think my first social media was like MySpace, and then Facebook, and so it's like, it's kind of just slowly materialized into what it is. I mean, I personally think it's relatively dangerous, and I don't think I've ever really let it affect my mental health because I just don't care. I'm like, it is what it is. I like to look at it for recipes. I like to look at it for like what new restaurants or what activities I can go do or something like that in Dallas. But I feel like looking at other people's life, like I like it to be like, oh, that's cool. This person had a baby. And like, I'm also tough. I don't know. Like, we don't keep in touch, but I kind of know what's going on.
So you're loving that, then going on about your business, or you're not even loving it, or we just like scroll?
It depends who you are to kite, you know? But I do think it can be like, I worry about like the generation coming in because I feel like they are so knee deep in it, and like you're like glued to your phone.
Yeah.
And I've taken like severe breaks from social media because
recently too.
Yeah, I like deleted all of it for like 2 months. And I was like, well, I kind of miss it. And there's so many recipes. I'm like, well, I saved those on my Instagram. I want to go back and see that, like an archaic person. But I got this little device called a brick because I feel like for me, it was like ruining my attention span because it was scrolling.
Learn the instant gratification of wanting to do something new.
And just like more quality time. I was like, sometimes Kyle and I just are like dissociating, and I was like, that's totally fine in like short capacities, because I feel like at the end of the day when you're tired, you do just want to like turn your brain off for a second, and that definitely allows it. But I was like, I can barely sit through a movie anymore. Like, I will just constantly. So I got this little device called a brick, and you can set the schedule, and it sits like somewhere in your house. And so basically I like block social media for only like 2 hours a day.
Okay.
And then once
You could only use it for 2 hours a day.
yeah, and it like locks everything, and there's no way you can't like delete the app and like all of a sudden it goes away. You have to like physically go and get up to the device to unlock it. So you could still unlock it if you wanted to, but it's like more of a conscious choice because like your iPhone has all these like you could set a timer to be like I only want to go on Instagram for 1 hour a day, and I did that, and then it comes up to an hour, and I'm like,
I want to say,
yeah,
right.
like it wasn't really.
It's like an alarm and you can see
I mean, yeah. So that I think has helped, but I never really found like the mental health piece. But I could see how people could, because if you're looking for something or you're craving something, like you see all these examples of highlight reels. And to me, I guess I kind of feel like I think people have a lot of issue with like the highlight reel part of it, because they're like, put your real life on here if you're going to have a highs on too. But I don't know, when I'm like crying or having a bad day, like I certainly am not pulling out my phone to film it. Like I'm living that moment in real life.
Right. It feels so like inauthentic to watch somebody crying. Is that really happening? Didn't realize, or did you stage that?
I think a lot of it is real, but these are people who have like committed to show every single thing on the internet, because I think if you are an influencer or like someone who has a ton of followers, it is kind of like disingenuous to just put the highs on there because people are watching. But I'm like, as it pertains to like those of us who are just doing it to like follow friends and follow some people that are famous and they like or whatever, I'm like, I do not need to put me cry. I'm not going to put me crying on the internet anywhere. I'd rather die than cry in front of anybody.
Right. Anybody.
Anybody. I'm a shower crier, but like
I'm car.
that's a good one too. Sometimes I'm a plane crier, and that is uncomfortable.
It's why do I keep picking like sad movies to watch on a plane?
I think it's also because you're like in a confined space. Like I always end up like looking out the window, and I'm like, it's like holding the window.
Like the person doesn't see
that's yeah. I'm like, sometimes it's gotten really bad where I'm like, okay, everything's fine. Like pull your fucking shit together. You're weak.
I watched a really sad movie the other day. Coming home.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it just depends. But I feel like the younger generation is, I think, maybe using it in a more unhealthy way where like that is their source of everything. And I'm like, sometimes just like put your phone down and like live your life.
Yeah. And you're not feeling any sort of sense of like comparison or keeping up with the Joneses. Like you never felt that. I guess I felt that immediately as I was just scrolling very quickly on our too many tabs.
I feel
Instagram.
Like you just have to be super intentional. Like when I definitely, and like Kyle and I talked about this before, and I don't think this is just social media. I think like the world we live in is like so hyper fixated on consumerism.
Yeah.
Like I think about like when my grandma was living her life and like she got one pot and pan set and like had it
For the rest of her life.
and now things are evolving so quickly where it's like, this is this cool new gadget. And like, there's some stuff where I'm like, yeah, that makes so much sense. And it's $5 on Amazon. Like that actually would be something I use every day. But I think it's because the network of influencing is to like be pushing this stuff so constantly. Like I do have to consciously remind myself often that like, just because someone else is like pushing it doesn't mean that I need it.
Right.
But I think it's like you have to be super intentional with how you interact with social media, I think. And if you don't like set that boundary, and I'm not perfect at it, but I have like conscious awareness that these are things that I need to do. And I just don't know that everyone's doing that. Which
mean,
like I get.
I feel like I wouldn't be able to. And that's why I haven't involve myself to that extent, right? Because I know myself very well that I have an addictive personality where I'm going to be on such an extreme. Like I am going to be a person scrolling constantly, like feeling like I need to buy every single item. Like I am not doing enough because I'm not at every single event that I'm seeing online. And it was very interesting to me. It made me think about, you know, my stepson's generation, like what that will look like for them. All of our friends who are having like really young kids and they're on an iPad and they're getting the instant gratification really quickly. YouTube is like a super popular one with them. And I find it so crazy to see a 5-year-old just like, don't like that anymore. Don't like that anymore.
Yeah, but it's kind of scary. Like I think the iPad kid world is a little crazy, but I also feel like we don't have kids. Like we haven't gone through that.
Oh, and I wouldn't be the person that's like, he can't have an iPad, he can't do any of these things either, because my stepson, I think, didn't have some of those items for longer than he should. And I think it caused like a social issue for a little bit. Not anymore, but if you're removed from it to such an extent.
The kids around you too. So if like you're not playing the same games or whatever. I mean, I get that. Kyle and I talked about it at length. Like if we were to have kids, that they probably wouldn't have any sort of iPad, or it would be like they would have one and it would be for travel and it would be like heavily monitored because, and I mean, the social piece I totally get, but I guess I'm probably like, I don't care. Like use your imagination. I remember making like rock sushi outside at my home for hours.
That sounds fun.
It was so fun. We would like have some dirt, wrap it up, and
That's so cute.
like it's stuff like that where I'm like, this is when I feel like a boomer. Where I'm like, kids are, back in the day, but I'm like, you do need to use your imagination. Like use your hands. Like you're going to grow up and interact with some sort of screen for your job, probably no matter what. So like the more that you can do outside of that, like it will all exist. But I think it's just the healthy boundaries. I mean, I have an addictive personality too, but that's why I have the little device where I'm like, okay,
Smart. I can't believe that like exists now. It's crazy.
I think it's because people are like, holy shit, I'm addicted to like the mindless consumption. And I now like anytime I put something in my cart, I always am like, I need to sit with it for 48 hours.
Oh,
Like new.
and then I'm mad because I missed the sale, but
Well, sure. If it's like a new thing where I'm like, okay, if Charlie needs food, I don't need to sit with that for 48 hours. Up should eat. But it's more like the random stuff where I'm like, did I really need that? Or did I like see it 6 times? And now I'm like,
it was cute and I wanted in it and I'm like, it wasn't really needed. Yeah. A lunchbox I bought the other day.
it is cute though.
Thanks.
It's just, it's not great. It feels like harmless when it's like, oh, it's only a $4 thing or a $10 thing or, $15. And then I'm like, but then it adds up.
Yeah. Well, and we talked about it. I feel like we want to keep up with the Joneses, and at the end of the day, like the 5 years, 10 years from now, like none of that shit's going to matter.
No. And I'd rather like save that money to go on a trip.
Experiences.
Yeah, have experiences. Although I know that saving that medial amount of money is not going to necessarily take me to
It's like the coffee. We made this.
We did it at home.
You made this.
You watched.
And that's always my engagement. Yeah, that's so interesting. I think you have the healthiest of mindsets when it comes to social media. I don't see that across the board with like everybody that I engage with, whether that's people I work with or, I mean, my husband, because he's not on the long fun stuff. My friends, I go back and forth. Like I always joke, and somebody has said to me before, like, you should do a Finsta, because then I am missing like a fake Instagram, like just to like see, because you miss out on
Too many times.
well, that's what I was thinking. But I was going to use that as my forum to like catch up with babies and see what's going on in the worlds of like everybody's lives, that it was so overwhelming to me that I just like completely shut down.
I mean, I think that one's harder because it's probably like our generation isn't posting as much on TikTok. So that does feel a bit more of like, I'm just watching, but it's not like
That's why I like it.
where Instagram is like your friends are posting pictures of their kids. And it is a little bit more like, oh my God, I know these people. Not everyone, but like it's more personal.
Yeah.
For our generation, I think for like, Dexter's generation, probably it's different than that, where it's like, your friends are engaging more. So then it is like even
Friends with him on Instagram to know.
I don't know.
Is that a popular one with that age range?
TikTok?
No, Instagram. No, like that's like, okay, you don't know. Okay, so I'm not like so old and so removed. No, I have no idea what's going on. That's my other concern.
I don't know. I literally, when I was at my last event in DC a couple weeks ago, sometimes when we have like a dark night or like the event ends at like 7:30, like whatever, we're no longer responsible for attendees at that point.
And we were
Have a nice night. We always try and do some sort of like casual dinner because we usually do like a big team dinner, but I'm like, you're tired, and like I'm like, just
done.
everyone get in their comfies, we'll go to a sleeping, like someone sweet or something like that.
Or pizza.
Yeah, I order food and I'm like, we'll just hang out. So we do this, and apparently it was the premiere of Love Island USA, which
There's too many episodes for me to keep up. Otherwise, I would love it.
I will never watch it again. I was like, I felt so old. I'm like, come on, kids, like, let's all do this. I was learning all these things like this. I forgot what it means. It's like that E.
Yeah, it's like, yay.
Yeah. I was like,
Because they said it with my outfit the other day at work.
oh,
Like,
that's a good thing.
I know, but like,
I feel so
that's why I thought it was gay. Like,
You're like, okay. But I feel like those are the moments that keep me young, where I'm like learning this shit. But then I also in those moments feel archaic.
and I don't want that.
No, but also I will never watch Love Island again. It was really, it's just like tongues. Like it was disgusting.
They're naked the entire time and they're just like fucking, and that's fine with me. That's cool.
But there's like nothing to it. I could only watch 30 minutes of it. I was like, guys, I have to go before I lose.
So it wasn't in your room. So
No.
we gathered in another room.
Yeah, we gathered in another room. I would have been like, respectfully, I'll leave. Right?
Yeah.
Because I can't.
I'll actually switch rooms. I'm gonna move my clothes.
It was terrible. I wouldn't watch it.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was like a good like background show. What I didn't like was there's like 30 episodes.
It's like 25 times a week.
And I can't.
Who the fuck has the time for
It's literally what it is. It's like 2 episodes a day or something like that. It's kind of like 90 Day Fiance. And like, don't get me wrong, I'm still watching it, but it's crazy. It's like the visas and stuff like that. Never heard of that?
I just think of
K1 visa.
I've heard of the visa, but I've never watched
The episodes are like 3 hours each every week. And I'm like, I can't commit to that. That seems ridiculous.
you are.
No, I have like 20 episodes. So I haven't even watched this season. So because it's too much. Like I feel like I need to like pump it on the ground.
No. Like, just no.
Also just no.
I literally was like, I'm sure it's an unpopular opinion to not like Love Island, but I was like, there is so much better trash TV to be watched than this.
That's what that generation likes. That's their like Bravo. That's their Real Housewives. Their summer house, if you will. Even though I know. And
Well,
that's something we could have spanked.
Did you watch The Real Housewives of Rhode Island yet? Because that was your job.
Yes, and we have to close because there's far too much to talk about. I am glad that we like are on the same page with social though. This makes me feel better. Like I'm not completely behind the times. Like you seem to be like curbing it as much as you can.
I'm not sure I'm like your target audience for this.
Yeah.
Like I would be curious to know what other people think.
Same. And like what is a healthy, appropriate amount? But next time I have to update any of our shit, I'm glad that people now know that that'll be my 3rd time on Instagram. So if I fuck up a reel or like zoom into a
I'll do my
picture,
best to know.
you'll know it's me behind the scenes and that Avital was not in charge of that today.
Until next time.